Namaste, I'm SuzieB. Welcome to this short 15-minute yoga stretching session. If you normally use blocks, a belt or strap, then please grab them and they'll help you. And also a small cushion or a blanket if you're a little bit more on the stiffer side. We're going to start off sitting down in Sukhasana, a cross-legged seated position. I like to sit on something. I prefer a little soft blanket folded up. As I elevate the sitting bones, it makes it much more comfortable for my pelvis to become upright and then my spine to be upright. Resting your hands on your legs, just roll your shoulders back, relax the shoulders away from your ears. Consciously relax your hips, your knees, your ankles. Bring your hands together in front of your heart and just bow your head. Check in. Ask yourself, how do I feel? Notice your body, your breath, your mind. And at the end of this short session, we'll check in again. So breathing in, lifting up your head, opening your eyes, reach your arms all the way up to the sky, and then slowly release your arms down to the side. Place your right hand on the floor out from the side of your hip, and then gently take yourself into a side bend. You're reaching your left arm over your head. Bend softly through your right elbow as much as feels good for you in the side bend. And then softness through your left elbow. Gently twist through your rib cage, weeping willow. Try and turn your chest and your heart up towards the sky. You're not moving your shoulders, but of course they move with your body. So as you exhale, you're pivoting on the right shoulder and turning your chest by moving the spine down towards the floor. Inhale, pivot through the rib cage. Turn the chest up to the sky. Exhale, gently twist and turn down. One more time. Inhale up. And exhale through the nose down. Lovely. Inhale, come to the center and gently, carefully lift yourself all the way up, placing your left hand out to the left side. So the hands directly out from the hip, not back or in front. Lovely. Gently, carefully lifting up the right arm. Let's slowly take ourselves again into a side bend, just as far as feels comfortable for you. Maybe you're not going very far at all. It's okay. Do what feels good for you. Again, take softness through your top arm and let's gently twist. Can you turn your rib cage up towards the sky? Feel yourself pivoting on your left shoulder, but feel the twist coming through your rib cage. Lovely. As you exhale, slowly turn your chest to face down towards the floor. Nice. Inhale, turn your chest up to the sky. This is really getting a great stretch through that thoracic area of your spine that can become quite locked, particularly if you do a lot of sitting in a computer. Nice. And turn it down towards the floor. Let's do that one more time. It feels good. Inhale, turn up. Exhale, turn down. Inhale, turn to the center. And gently bring yourself all the way up. Lovely. Taking your legs out in front of you, give them a bit of a shake off. If you're on the stiffer side and coming forwards is a challenge, you might want to stay seated on top of a folded blanket or come down onto the floor. And if touching your toes is a challenge and you've got a belt, take it near your feet. You're going to keep your right foot, your right leg straight and flex the foot. Bend your left knee and rotate the hip outwards. We're going to come into half butterfly. Bring the sole of the left foot to the inside of the right thigh. Try not to tuck it underneath. And relax the hip. If the knee doesn't come to the floor and you've got something and you want to, then just support under the knee. Inhale, reach your arms up to the sky. Really take your spine long and then slowly, gently, carefully reaching forwards, bring yourself down. So if you're not quite reaching your foot and you've got a belt, then take that around the ball of your foot or just rest your hands on the floor. Either way, we want to make sure that our back is as long and straight as we can. If you're rounding through the spine and hunching the shoulders to come and pull your toes off your foot, this is not a beneficial stretch. Using the belt or the strap or the floor, pull your spine nice and long and bring yourself down using your stomach muscles. Head in line with your spine. A softness through your elbows so that your chest stays open. Feel that deep stretch in the back of your right leg, but also feel a release through the hip, the knee, and the ankle of your left leg. Take 2 more breaths. Nice. Janushirasana, looking forwards. Inhale, reach your fingers forward, straight back, lift all the way up to the sky, and then exhale, release your arms down. Lifting up your left knee, plant the sole of your foot on the floor, pull it in and lengthen through your spine. Maybe it stays here, or if you can, take it to the outside of the right leg. If the hip is lifting up, Either sit on a blanket or just keep your foot on the inside of the leg. Lovely. Pulling your spine nice and long. Sweep your left hand back behind you, directly behind the tailbone. Try not to lean back, stay upright. And then bring your right hand to the outside of the left knee and use that. Take a pull, twist yourself around. And if you feel that your chest, your collarbones are broad and open, and it's not going to collapse that nice opening, then take your elbow to the outside of the knee. If in doing so you collapse through your chest, then you're losing the benefits of the stretch. So just use your hand. Your right toes still face the sky. Let's take 2 deep breaths here. Try and keep your throat open, chin away from the chest. And exhale, return through to the front. Straighten your left leg, same 2 on the other side. Bending through the right knee, rotating outwards from the sole of your foot comes to your inner thigh. Flexing through your left foot. Again, if your knee doesn't come to the floor because the hip's feeling tight, then place something underneath it. And if you can't come forward comfortably, please sit on top of a blanket. Finally, if you need it, take the belt close to your foot. Flexing through your left foot, inhale, reach your arms up. Really feel that your pelvis is upright. If it's rounded back, coming forwards is impossible. So lengthen through the spine and then start to tip your pelvis forwards. Slowly, carefully pausing when you get near your foot, whether you're resting the hands on the floor, holding your foot comfortably, or using the belt to assist you. Make sure that your shoulders are even towards the floor. You're not twisting to come forwards, and that you're not rounding and forcing. Again, soften the shoulders, bend the elbows a little bit. We want to open the chest, and we want to have a nice, long, straight spine coming down towards our leg. Head in line with the spine. Notice, is this leg tighter or easier than the other side was? Notice, are you rounding in the spine? Is that thoracic area feeling tight? Can you lengthen and straighten it a bit more? Janushasana, notice whether this side's feeling tighter or easier. Take 2 more deep breaths. Lovely, and then looking forwards, inhale with a straight back, reach your fingers up to the sky, exhale, release them down, lifting up your right knee, plant the sole of your foot on the floor, and use that knee to help lengthen the spine. Keep the left foot flexed, and if it feels good, take the right foot to the outside of your left leg. Again, hugging the knee in, feeling the stretch on the outer hip. Sweep your right fingers round behind. Lift up away from the floor, lengthen your spine, and then twist your spine. Use your hand on your knee to deepen the twist. Not only is the outer hip stretching, the whole spine is twisting and stretching, but we also want to expand and open across our chest. Same again, if the collarbones feel comfortable and not collapse, then maybe you can bring your elbow to the outside. But if in doing so you collapse everything, keep the hand there and get more out of the stretch and twist for you. Nice. Your toes face up to the sky. Let's take 2 more deep breaths here. Super. Slowly returning through to the front. Take your left hand round behind you, straighten your right leg. Give both your legs a shake off and then bend your knees. Your feet, they're parallel and they're hip width apart. Your hands are about a hand length a bit further behind your hips, so the fingertips facing in towards your bottom. Push into your feet, squeeze your shoulder blades together, open up your chest. If you've got sore wrists, maybe this is enough, or if you can, increase the stretch across the front of your chest by lifting your hips up. Heels and knees, they should be on the same line for maximum strength. Knees in line with your hips, and if you can, head in line with your spine. Squeeze your glutes to lift the hips higher. Really feel the deep shoulder stretch. Take 2 more breaths if you've got it in you. Exit if you need to. Super, chin to chest, slowly lower the hips down towards the floor. Give your arms a little shake off, and then swing your feet around behind you. In a tabletop position, come closer towards the back of your mat. Your feet are towards the edge of your mat. You're going to keep your knees and your hips on the same line. Extended puppy. We walk the hands forwards. Hands stay shoulder width apart. Keep pushing the hips back. Think cow pose for your spine. Keeping the hips and the knees on the same line. If you can, release your forehead or maybe your chin towards the floor. Try not to come forwards with the hips. Likewise, try not to push back into a child's pose. Hips are up high, directly above your knees for extended puppy or heart melting pose. Take 2 more deep breaths here. Lovely. Now looking forwards, lifting your head, pushing into your hands, lift your chest, and then gently start to place your hips on the floor and release your elbows down to the floor. Elbows are directly under your shoulders. Feet are hip width apart. Pushing into your elbows, feel your shoulders move away from your ears. Feel your heart pulling forwards and lifting up to the sky. So you're getting another back bend, a really good opening through the front of your spine. Take a couple of deep breaths here in your Sphinx pose. Feel the back bend. Really good stretch for your spine and for your abdomen. From here, we're going to gently push back into a child's pose. As you push into your elbows, slowly lift your hips up and then walk your knees towards your elbows and then bring your elbows towards your knees, sending your hips back to your heels. Just release your forehead down. If you would like to take your arms back behind you, your forehead on the floor. If this isn't accessible, maybe arms to the side or arms in front of you, or if you need to, place some kind of support underneath your forehead. Balasana, your child's pose, a really good stretch for your hips, the groins, the knees, the ankles, the feet. And of course, it's a nice release for the spine. Your spine is in a very soft, gentle forward bend, the opposite to the extended puppy and the Sphinx. Lovely. When you're ready, take your hands under your shoulders, push down into your hands and lift yourself up. If you normally use the blocks, we're going to come to a low lunge with a kickback. Take the blocks at the top of your mat. If you want padding for under your knee, have it nearby. You're going to step your right foot to the top of your mat. As you step the foot forwards, make sure your right foot and your left knee, they're hip width apart. They're not on the same tightrope. They're hip width apart. Lovely. Right knee and heel, same line. If you want to pad underneath your left knee, please do so. Hands are underneath your shoulders. I'd like you to really sink your hips down and pull your chest forwards. We're going to pause here for a few breaths. The emphasis is across the front of the left hip. You're getting a great groin, hip flexor, and psoas stretch here. And you're really strengthening through the right quads. Pull your chest forward. Sink the hips down. Take 2 more breaths. Great. Now slowly start to push your hips back. Start to flex your right foot. I'm going to remove the block so you can see there. As you flex your right foot, you're slowly trying to straighten your right leg. Perhaps bring your hands back a little touch to make this more accessible. And if you've got the blocks, you can use them on any of the 3 levels to help you straighten through this leg. As you send your hips back, try and pull your chest forwards and feel that lovely stretch on the back of your right leg. Pull your heart towards your toes. Give yourself a couple of deep breaths here. In this Ardha Hamonasana pose, your half monkey. Super. Slowly looking forwards, walk your hands forward. Start to bend your knee. If you like, help the foot back because you're going to transition to the other side. Left foot comes forwards, left heel and knee same line, hands under your shoulders. Use blocks if they help, or be on your fingertips or your palms. Really sink your hips down. Remember, your left heel and your right knee, they're hip width apart. This is going to give you the best stretch for deep within your hips and in your groins. As you pull the chest forwards, lengthening your spine, feel the groin, the hip flexors. Feel perhaps your quads, the front of your thigh. Feel the stability in your left leg. Give yourself 2 deep breaths here. Really nice stretching for the hips and the legs. We're going to send ourselves back into that half monkey. Again, use the blocks if they help you. I'm going to keep mine away so you can see easier. As you start to push your hips back, you're slowly, carefully going to start to lift up your left toes, flexing through your left foot. You're trying to straighten the leg without forcing. Nice. You can take your hands underneath your shoulders. So if that brings them further back, use the blocks on a higher level if you need them. Pull your heart toward your toes, squeeze your stomach muscles, and see if you can bring yourself a little bit closer towards your left leg. Notice, is the back of the left leg tighter than you felt in the right leg? Breathe. Just a couple more deep breaths here. Wonderful. And slowly looking forward, start to walk your hands forward, starting to bend your knees, slide your foot back, taking the left foot back behind you, tuck your toes under, and with your hands under your shoulders, lift the knees up and walk your hands towards your feet. Pause here at the back of your mat, the knees softly bent. Gently swing and sway from side to side for a little moment, trying to really release and open up through your lower back. And then coming to the center with a deep bend through your knees, really rounding through your spine. Feel every part of your spine, lengthening the tailbone, the sacrum, the lumbar spine, the thoracic, and finally your neck, the cervical spine as you bring your head up. Roll your shoulders back. Release your arms by your sides. Tadasana, feet parallel, hip width apart. Bring your hands together in front of your heart. Bow your head and check in again. How do you feel now? Has anything changed in the last 15 minutes? Whatever you feel in your body, your breath, and your mind, give yourself thanks for showing up, for taking the time to have this little stretch. Hopefully feeling good. Inhale, lift up your heads, opening your eyes. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you feel good. I definitely feel a bit more open. Stay healthy, stay happy.